That's it off and racing in the second division of the Dennison Commercial, sponsored 4yo Geldings Maiden as they head away. Blue Bazinga is going to be prominent early on with straight out towards the outside. Elmsford is just in behind these, and they're being chased by a one to break free as they make their way on the uphill climb towards fence number 1. Right in behind them races Leon Dupas as they race the first. On touching down the earful back marker is Blue John L. So as they make their way now into the bend, it's going to take them left-handed across the top of the track. And out front, it was Straight Out, who took off in a prominent position in company with Blue Bazinga, as we wait for them to reappear at the top of the track. And out in the lead, Straight Out, being followed in second spot by I Want to Break Free. Right in behind these then is Elmsford, and they're being chased as they make their way on downhill by Blue Bazinga, and further back and behind them to Mambo the Large. Just in behind these is Gills Hill, being followed further back by Certain Escape as they go to rise at number 2. Behind them Leon Dupas, and last of all is Blue John L as they go out over number 2 with a slight mistake by Blue John L towards rear, but survives. So as they go across the road and make their way on towards fence number 3, and out front newly there, because coming to the lead is I Want to Break Free in the hands of Andrew Kennedy, being followed back in second spot by Straight Out and Jamie McCarthy. Right in behind these in third then is Elmsford and Stephen Connor, who's been chased by Blue Virginia and Barry O'Neill. Followed over by Mambo the Large and Jack Hendrick. Further back to Certain Escape and Rob James keeps company with Gills Hill and Shane Cotter. Towards that one's outside as they round the bend into the home straight as Leon Dupas and Bertie Finn. And last of all is Blue Jack L and Blue John L and Jack O'Grady. Here's fence number 4, and over in front with the advantage it was I Want to Break Free, being chased in second spot by Straight Out. Right in behind these then is Elmsford and then Blue Bazinga, who's been followed next in the field by Mambo the Large. And behind Mambo the Large at this point then races Certain Escape in company with Gills Hill, Leon Dupas last but one, and last of all is Blue John L. And over that fence away from us they go and continue on the uphill climb that's going to take them on towards their fence at the top of the track, which is number 6. And out front it is I Want to Break Free from towards the inside Straight Out. They're being followed back in third by Blue Bazinga, and right in behind these then as they round the bend at the top of the track races Elmsford. So as they make their way now into the bend that's going to take them on the downhill run back towards fences 7 and 8 in the back straight, and reappearing at the top of the track it is I Want to Break Free, being chased downhill by Straight Out, Elmsford, Blue Bazinga, Mambo the Large, and behind these being followed on as they continue the downhill run by Certain Escape and Gills Hill and Leon Dupas, and then Blue Jack L, who's last of all. Making their way now on towards fence number 7, and out front it is I Want to Break Free from Mambo the Large towards the outsiders, almost taking a share of the lead there, but touching down with the advantage is I Want to Break Free, being followed in the second spot by Mambo the Large, Elmsford in third, and then Straight Out who's dropped back into fourth, and they're being followed next in the field by Blue Bazinga. Right in behind these Gills Hill, and further back and behind them to find the next one racing, which is Certain Escape towards the wide outside is Leon Dupas, and last of all is Blue John L. Racing now towards fence number 8, the cross fence, and over in front it is I Want to Break Free from the second running Blue Bazinga. Elmsford in third around the inside, and they're being chased next in the field by Mambo the Large, then Straight Out and further back in the field as they continue the way up the straight to find Gills Hill in company with Leon Dupas and Certain Escape as they rise to the next one. I Want to Break Free, who's going to head up to past the post with a second ahead of them, and 5 more fences left to be jumped from the second running Blue Bazinga. Right in behind these then in third races Elmsford, and they're being followed next in the field by Straight Out, and in behind then Straight Out at this point races Mambo the Large as they climb out over the next one, being followed then by Gills Hill, and further back to Certain Escape and Leon Dupas, and Big Blue John L has always been in rear. Reminders for Leon Dupas after jumping 5 out, and they make their way now on towards the fourth last fence at the top of the track. Still I Want to Break Free, being chased in second spot by Blue Bazinga. Leon Dupas would call it a day before 4 out, Everything else remains running as they make their way into the top bend, and out front it was I Want to Break Free who disappeared with the advantage, being chased in the second spot as they disappeared by Blue Bazinga. As we wait for them to reappear at the top, I Want to Break Free, Blue Bazinga disappeared in 1-2, but it's I Want to Break Free who's extended the advantage of anything from Blue Bazinga. Ellensford is in behind these in company with Certain Escape, and they in turn are opening up in front of Blue John Hill is running on in company with Jizz Hill, and then Mambo the Large is dropped right out in front of Straight Out. Racing on now towards the third last fence, and with the advantage it is I Want to Break Free from Certain Escape towards the outside. Blue Bazinga is down the inner. They're opening up from Ellensford and they're clear of the remainder as they make their way now on around the bend. That's going to take them towards their second last fence, and out front with the advantage it's I Want to Break Free from Certain Escape has come off the outside. Blue Bazinga is back in third now as they head on now towards their second last fence. I Want to Break Free from Certain Escape towards the outside. Precious little shoes between them and jumping. Blue Bazinga is back in third, then Ellensworth in fourth. They're then be followed by Blue John L back in the field. That's all that remain. Racing on around the bend now. They're straightening up, but one fence left to jump in the second division of the 4-year-old Geldings Maiden, and out front with the advantage it's Certain Escape from the second running now. I Want to Break Free, but over the last goes Certain Escape, and a couple of lengths clear from I Want to Break Free is back in second. Then Blue Bazinga, who made a mistake at the last, but on the run towards the line it's going to be Certain Escape for Rob James, who trains and rides from back in second spot was I Want to Break Free. They're being followed in third by Ellensford, who went by just ahead of Blue Bazinga, and that's all the complete.